So this is biome graphing. Well, this isn't actually it, but I'm going to show you an example of kind of what you are going to do. A couple of things. You might want to use that essentials of graphing that we had early on in the year, and because it will help you remember things like the title and the variables and things like that. Also, remember your spacing out sheet. I've gone through that already, so this one's set up, but those two things will really help you when you start your biome graphing. Now this is going to be a little different because you're not just graphing numbers, you're graphing a range. And so that's going to give you something a little bit different, and really when you graph it, it's going to create boxes. Hope you understand what I mean here in just a second. Thank you, assistant. So when we look at this, we're going to graph the size of middle school students, a 6th grader, a 7th grader, and an 8th grader, on both height and weight. But you realize we have a range of height here, not just one thing. So we need to graph a range. That's going to be a little bit different, and here's how we're going to do it. Starting with height, we know that 6th graders are going to be 3 feet tall to 4.5 feet tall. Yes, I made these numbers up. But we don't know what their weight is going to be in pounds. So what we're going to do is simply draw little dots. Now I'm doing this in a dark color. You should probably do this in something lighter. But I'm just doing it to kind of show you and so that you can see what's going on here. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. And so we know that the box is going to be formed somewhere in here. These are the two sides, the top and the bottom. But as far as side to side, now we have to look at weight. 6th graders, we're saying, are 80 to 100 pounds. So here's 80, so I know it's going to be in here, and to 100 pounds here, and you'll see we've created a box. And what we're saying is if somebody falls into this range, they are a 6th grader. So they could be 4 feet tall and 95 pounds. They fit into this range as a 6th grader. And we'll shade that in a little bit just to make it look pretty. 7th graders now are 4.5 feet tall to 5.5 feet tall. So we got to go here. Here's 4.5 feet tall. We already have some of this line drawn. And to 5.5 feet tall. Here we go. We're going to do the same thing. Draw lines across. And then we look at their weight. They're 100 to 150 pounds. So we're going to draw those lines up. And again, where they cross and kind of create a box. Oh, look at that. Again, all these dashed lines you can erase because you're going to be using pencil real nicely. And we're saying here this is a 7th grader in this box here. 8th graders, we are saying, are 5 feet tall to 7 feet tall. But you'll notice we have a little bit of an overlap here. That's okay. We'll make the dashes real light. 5 feet tall to 7 feet tall. And now going upwards, they're 125 pounds. Again, an overlap. That's okay. 125 pounds to 175 pounds. And so this then will be our 8th grade box. Now you'll notice that there's an overlap. That's okay, because sometimes a big 7th grader might look like a small 8th grader. That is biome graphing. Hope you have a good time. See ya.